Meet the air reconnaissance unit that's been stalking Ukrainian skies and causing Russian nightmares. This small team consists of 30 Ukrainian special forces and drone operators. Now, despite their size, this one amazing little unit has been a nightmare for the Russian invasion force, and has even been credited with halting the 40-mile Russian convoy that was preparing to strike at the heart of Kyiv. As the Russians slept, they flew in drones to blow up multiple vehicles at the front, clogging up the convoy, and then they stole into the night on quad bikes. Two things, that's pretty awesome, and drones have proven really effective in the early days of World War III. Are we calling it that yet? Hey, welcome. Today I want to highlight a few drone weapon systems that have been used to devastating success operating over the skies of Ukraine. The first is the social media star, the Bayraktar TB2. This off-brand wannabe is proven so popular against Russian forces that it is being credited with helping to stall their advances into the country. Ukrainian forces have created folk songs about it, and even named a baby lemur, Beriktar, in tribute to the drone. Aw, that's pretty cute. Designed as a medium-altitude, long-endurance drone, the TB2 is a relatively young piece of technology, having only been conducting missions since 2014. It's so new that I don't think it's had a chance to settle into its first war crime. Previously, the TB2 saw action alongside the Turkish military inside Iraq and Syria. It's produced by a well-connected company in Turkey, and sales to Ukraine began prior to Russia's invasion. But this hasn't stopped a frightened Moscow from demanding the Turkish government stop all future sales. Russian authorities fear that Putin might find TB2 drone footage in his morning YouTube binge. Now, Turkey, for its part, said, hey, it's a free market and this is a private sale. So, low-key fuck you for the win. The TB2 sits around half the weight and size of the larger Reaper drone, the daddy drone of the Iraq-Afghanistan conflict that you may be familiar with. Now, these two are really not comparable, as the TB2 is trying to fit into a smaller and more accessible role. Look no further than the price tag to explain why this clearance drone might be worth the reduction in ability. The TB2 cost estimates fall around $2 million, while the Reaper sits around $32.
You just shot a javelin at a fucking car!
This cost-benefit ratio is exactly what makes it so appealing as the right choice to crack open some Russian eggs. With an acceptable range of up to 300 kilometers, it can remain airborne for over 24 hours, waiting to unleash one of its 4 laser-guided munitions. In a little Canadian connection, the vital surveillance cameras for the Bayraktar will be provided directly to Ukraine by Canada. Turkish factories have remained cut off from our superior optics after their recent use in Armenia displeased those pointy hats in Ottawa.
I do not want you to pull this amateur bull crap, alright? I'm a professional!
Ukraine initially had as many as 50 of these drones working to spank the Russians. These were expected to be easy targets for Ruski air defenses, such as the Panzer I. However, careful use and a lot of Russian incompetence have led the TB2 to the successful destruction of hundreds of vehicles and anti-air platforms. The TB2 even played a surveillance role in the sinking of the Moskva missile cruiser. They have proven what a no-name brand drone can do for a clever, beleaguered resistance.
How many Turkish drones are you deploying?
We have enough.
In your granddaddy's wars, it was the whistle of artillery that sent the troops running for cover. Now you can add the whir of suicide drones as the modern equivalent. Finally, technology that can excite the infantry while also being cheap enough to the point it can be entrusted with them. The Switchblade drone by AeroVironment is exactly the kind of weapon that should be in every section, so I'm glad they are being rapidly supplied to Ukraine in the hundreds, so then they can promptly ram them into the Russians. Nicknamed the Flying Shotgun, the Switchblade 300 is a 2.5 kilogram suicide drone designed to attack troops and light vehicles. Launching out of a tube in just a few minutes, this little guy can fly for about 10 kilometers and then loiter over a target for 15 minutes. It's a squad-level, single-use launch and forget system that can be programmed to fly by GPS navigation alone or directly from the real-time video on an operator's tablet. The best part is that they're cheap at $6,000, consisting only of a camera, basic guidance system, and some explosives. This means every backpack can now carry some death from the sky. Don't forget their automated multi-launcher. It's like a mini fridge of death that can be planted for future use.
Eat your vegetables.
Now, if you need a greater return on your investment, the larger Switchblade 600 is the upscaled version, and it takes about 10 minutes to prep. You will have 40 kilometers or 40 minutes to deliver some kamikaze justice. Okay, so if we look at the Russians, they've really had a mixed bag when it comes to drones. A recently downed UAV was found to be put together with duct tape, legit bottle caps, and a lower-end DSLR camera you would find from London Drugs. This captured Orlan 10 surveillance drone was estimated to cost, well, way too much at upwards of $120,000 per unit. Maybe a more fair comparison is their Kub-Bla drone. This is a catapult-launched suicide munition that has struck numerous targets near Kyiv's government district. This would suggest that Russia has been busy searching for some high-value targets in the area. Now, if the Switchblade was a flying shotgun, then this Russian equivalent resembles a flying claymore. Carrying 3 kilograms of explosives surrounded by ball bearings, the Kubla has a 40-kilometer range and can ram into your target at 130 kilometers an hour.
But wait! There's more!
These Russian drones also carry a superpower. They are fitted with cell site simulators, which mimic mobile towers. Any phones in the area will be tricked into connecting with them, allowing for the drone to pinpoint enemy locations through their cellular signals.
Naughty.
So there you have it. Russia was expected to have an impressive force of these sort of drones. Oddly, they have been slow to bring their fleet into service. My best guess for this is that they expected a quick initial victory, or that their fleet is hidden performing high-level reconnaissance, like these little guys here. Or maybe Russia's air and electronic warfare defenses are simply all out of duct tape and bottle caps.
Це серйозно, це не фейк.
Regardless of any of these earlier omissions, suicide drones and loitering munitions like these are now a staple of modern conflict and will be found stalking any future battlefield. They have become much cheaper, much easier to use, and more effective than ever. Similar to the revolution of the crossbow or the bazooka, the drone now once more allows a simple squatty to knock out the biggest machines of war, and all for a fraction of their cost.
That's an $80,000 piece of ordnance. Can any of you geniuses tell me the Kelly Blue Book value of a 1989 Toyota pickup?
Thanks for watching, guys. Check out these other videos on military tech. If you enjoyed this, I think you'll like them. Have a great day.